Hey, what's up? It's Renee Misha. How are you? How's everybody doing? Let me set everything up. I haven't been on here in a while. This might take a quick second. What's this do? Oh, that's cool. Looks like they've updated settings a little bit since I've been on here, so that's cool. How's everybody doing today? So, I wanted to talk about this Tyler Perry scandal that is going on. I did sit and watch the full 10-minute video where someone went through and showed all the different text messages between Tyler Perry and the accuser. So if you didn't know, right now he is being sued, Tyler Perry is, for $260 million. That is over $250 million based on an allegation. That is earth shattering, that is shocking and scary. So what happened is Tyler essentially trusted the wrong person, and that guy leaked to the public all of the personal messages that were between them. They were talking about everything from day-to-day life to culture to friends and family, and it just goes to show why and how you have to protect yourself from people. Because although so far it looks pretty baseless and it looks as if nothing's going to come from it, what is happening is it exposed such vulnerability and things that Tyler didn't want the public to know. He was talking about some of his fears, some of his regrets, some of his doubts. He was talking about how he wished he would have bought a certain show and how he wished he would have did projects this way or that way, giving him industry tips, giving him insider advice. And this guy leaked that part of himself. And it goes to show too, make sure when you're making new friends and you're starting new relationships, don't be in so much of a hurry to get into a relationship and a friendship without vetting people. Vulnerability is a good thing. And as artists, we need vulnerability. We love connections. We love friendships. We love sharing our ideas with people. But just don't let it get to the point to where you're literally opening up to the wrong people because you're lonely. When you start feeling that feeling of yearning and missing somebody and you start feeling mopey and sad, that is not a good sign. So the guy was blowing him off throughout the text messages, but Tyler's trying to be flirty, and he's like, I don't really have many people to talk to, and all my friends are a lot older than me. And I could just tell that there was so much emotional vulnerability. And so it's important to stay guarded and protect yourself. That doesn't mean you have to be standoffish, but stay focused. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? It just came in. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for liking the live. I haven't been live in a minute. What is up? How are you doing? Where are you all from? Where are you from? So there's a thing here about energetic leakages, and energetic leakages is what happens when you are in a toxic or unhealthy relationship, when you're feeling vulnerable. And again, you can see that happening in the Tyler Perry text messages. Be careful not to overshare too much with people who you don't know if they have your best interests at heart. If you ever start to feel drained, if something feels off, trust your intuition. Because now Tyler Perry is facing a $260 million lawsuit. A lot of public damage. I saw the video where he was singing and crying and singing gospel hymns, and it's like... And then we also know there have been so many allegations regarding his intimate partners over the years, and that does not help. What is up to everybody that just came in? How are you guys doing today? I have not gone live in a minute, but I wanted to come on and say hello today. So, what else? There are so many opportunists right now in the world. There are so many people that are seeking to come in and exploit people for whatever kind of gains, whether it be financial, emotional, you name it. So at this point in time, social media is wonderful, but be careful when you're texting different people and you're sharing pictures back and forth and you're revealing a lot of personal information about yourself, because there are people that will take the littlest things about you and twist it up. We also saw a similar thing happen with James Charles recently. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's one of the top beauty influencers and makes a lot of content, but he has faced so many allegations from, he'll reach out to somebody and respond back and get into a little text thing, and then before you know it, it's a huge scandal and he's being sued. And it's really upsetting, actually, in a way, to see all of these different scandals, all of these different scandals, all of these different allegations against people, and seeing people get so, having to deal with that stress. But be careful, because even though you might not be a celebrity, you might not be, a billionaire, it could happen in everyday life just with your coworkers at work. I've seen that happen so many times to people. Sharing the wrong bit of information and people loving the gossip and loving to get the attention or wanting to come up or whatever. Be careful. So guard what you say. Be careful of what you share. Everybody wants to have that connection with people. Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of something. But at the same time, we have to watch what we do. What's up to everybody that just joined in? Hey, how are you doing? Let me see. I'm still checking out some of these features because I have not, again, been on in a very long time. Welcome to Edge of Illumination. Another thing is also, if you're talking with someone and you're dealing with someone and they don't make you feel good, like if something feels draining, if something feels off, make sure to listen to that. So signs to look out for: check how you're feeling within your gut feeling, your solar plexus. If they make you feel queasy, if you feel tight, if you start to feel anxiety, that's a really, really bad sign. Usually your body will know before you do that something is wrong and that something is off. So a huge indicator is you'll start to feel this like weird anxiety that you can't really explain. As you tune into that more and listen to your body more, it gets a lot easier. Same thing with fruits and foods and things like that. If you have a cat or a dog, you may notice that before it gets sick or around the time it starts to get sick, it'll know to go through and to eat certain grass and to do different things, to lay down in certain ways in order to protect itself. Well, in the same way, we have to do that as well. We have to listen to our bodies and what our intuition is telling us. So if you feel drained, if you feel queasy, if you feel tense, if something doesn't feel right when you're around someone or you're talking to someone, that is a huge sign that something is off. Something is off. So again, even though I'm not like a huge Tyler Perry fan, I'm not a huge Tyler Perry fan. I don't know much about him, but I have seen his stuff back in the day from time to time. I watched the Medea movies a little bit growing up, and I thought he was doing so many inspirational things. For goodness sakes, he built one of the biggest movie studios in the world by himself with his own finances. And that was partly because he wanted to remain independent and have creative control and not be so reliant on other sources. That was incredibly inspirational and motivating and inspiring. He also did a lot of outreach. He would do a lot of really cool speeches and motivational tips. So I liked him in that regard. But when I started seeing all of these different videos come out about how he's helping make all these millionaires, he's helping make all these billionaires, he's doing all these great things for other people, we hear that and we might think, oh, that's so cool, that's so amazing, like that's great that he's doing that for people. But other people hear that and say, wait a minute, this guy has the funds and the resources, he has a lot of money, what can I get out of him? And that leads me back to negative people, toxic people. We have unfortunately, positive people and empaths tend to project their goodwill out. And we assume that since we're a good person and since we're not like that and since we wouldn't do it, then they won't either. And that's simply not the case. Not everybody is a good person. Not everybody is nice. And we have to stay mindful of that without getting bitter and jaded and cold. You know, you can be nice to people, you can talk to people, you can engage, but don't get to the point to where you turn it off and you start missing red flags. And just as an outsider looking at the text messages between Tyler Perry and the accuser, you could see the red flags. So some of those red flags are, and I don't have the text in front of me to where I can pull it up right now. The guy was very distant with Tyler. He was blowing him off. He was making excuses, but then he would come and ask Tyler questions about how he can make it in the industry, or, oh, I've got an audition coming up tomorrow, and, you know, talking about things that were very personal in order to extract information from Tyler. But you'll notice if you see the text, he wasn't reaching out and saying like, hey, you know, how are you doing today? How do you feel? You know, you really inspire me. He wasn't giving to Tyler. Instead, he was trying to extract from him. And it was very cold. So it's paying attention to these little signs and not being so overwhelmed with being infatuated or liking the person that we turn that off. Because we want to turn it off. Especially when we like somebody. When we have a crush, like obviously it seemed like in the text, but who knows, that Tyler maybe had a crush on him, who cares, or maybe really liked him as a person. But when we have those emotions, sometimes it's easy to turn off that filter where we have to look at people's behavior and we have to look at people's actions as well. So it is a beautiful day outside. It is like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. in that range. It's about to start getting extremely hot. That's why I wanted to come out now. We are in summer and that sun has been burning. And I'm not trying to get like, I don't like how that feels and the sun's just beaming on you and you're trying to take a picture. It's the most uncomfortable feeling. So I wanted to come out here earlier. I actually wanted to come out way earlier, but hey, at least I'm here. I put up a few videos earlier so you could check those out. I talk more about spiritual things on those. What else are we going to talk about today? So some other signs that you can look out for in behavior. So always look at people's actions. When you're dealing with a person that is coming into your life, a brand new person, look at their behaviors towards you. Look at how they act towards you. Are they inviting